CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, who invites you to experience the Accord four-door sedans at your local Honda dealer. And by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Toyota, builder of tough, powerful, reliable trucks, Toyota. And by Aris Isotoner men's gloves. Take care of the hands that take care of you.
Set to go with the second half as Rich Carlos will kick off in the direction of Dwight Garner, Eric Yarber, and Keith Griffin. Carlos' kick is high and deep. Garner a yard deep in the end zone. To the 24. The quarterback comparison in the first half.
You can see they're pretty close and everything, except Schrader has the one TD throwing for it. Of course, Elway has his one. He ran for his. But look at the distance that they threw. But you see, neither one of them have been successful deep. Under 10 yards, Schrader got 58 of his yards. 10 to 20, 12 of his yards. 21 yards and 21 to 30. None in 30 to 40 or over 40. So it's been in that short and middle range area.
And both these quarterbacks like to get it upfield. This is Rodgers. Over the right side, maybe 4.
I think one of the good news part as they start this second half for the Redskins has to be that Art Monk is out there.
Right.
Remember, just before the half, he walked off with a little injury, but he's back now.
John Elway over on the sideline. Here's what he did in the first half.
Hey, look again, under 10 yards, 52 of his yards. 10 to 20, 33, 25, none in the long 2 areas.
Which is, as I said, and John said, what both of them like to do. Rodgers. Big George out to about the 39, a Redskin first down, a gain of 11. Rick Dennison tripped him up.
Well, he got right in there between R.C. Thielman and Mark May over there on that right side. You know, Thielman is a guy that has really fit in with this team, playing right guard. He's a veteran, 10 years, been traded from Atlanta, had a reconstructive surgery, a real serious injury last year. Didn't know if he could come back starting and playing very well.
First down, Washington. Their own 39. Rodgers again. Joe Gibbs said we're going to give him some work, and they're doing it. He got 3. Fletcher on the stop.
Let's watch RC again. Thielman. He's gonna tie right in there to Mecklenburg. You see him right there. Turns him to the outside. Does a nice job. That was Greg Cragen he was blocking. But he got into him and then turned to the outside and put Cragen to his knees.
2nd and 7, and the unpleasant word about Anthony Jones is that he has torn ligaments in his right knee and he's out for the year. 2nd down. Art Monk can't come up with it. Incomplete pass. Dennis Smith was the nearest defender. Monk, as you probably heard Irv Cross say at the half, just got a hit on the shoulder. It stung a little bit, but he said and told Irv that he's okay. When they're healthy, Clark and Monk, the top receiving combo in the NFL. Clark out with a bad ankle. Third down and 7. Schrader looking upfield, no flags. Clint Didier was the intended receiver, and he's pointing and gesturing as if someone did something wrong to him, but there are no flags.
Well, the Broncos were gesturing too that Schrader threw it away. Well, that's what he's talking about. Didier had all the right to do that. I'll tell you, Smith hit him in the face, and grabbed his arm. He had a trifecta against Didier.
Well, he got his ankle too as he tried to make his cut.
And that was a quadfecta.
Steve Cox back to punt for Washington. Wilhite will field it. Got room. You heard him saying, "Okay, Gerald." And Gerald gets out to about the 28, stopped by Todd Bowles. 43-yard punt by Cox, 13-yard return. So the Redskins net 30 out of that one, and Denver will take over trailing 13-7. And North Carolina Tar Heels, number 5 and number 6.
How did they get rated so early?
Well, you win some games.
Yeah, but they didn't play. It's only December. Those guys, they got rated already. They have a Final Four. Look at old Santa Claus down there. He's quite a guy, isn't he?
You get rated before Christmas.
Whether you're naughty or nice, he's still there.
Mobley was the man in motion. Elway fakes, gets it outside to Orson Mobley. Big Orson hits Malott after a gain of 13.
Tell you, you're right, Big Orson. When I saw him in practice yesterday, he was wearing a baseball cap. He fakes a block out there, and then he goes out for the pass. But he's wearing a baseball cap and a sweatsuit. I thought he was a tackle, just fooling around.
I remember I asked you, who was that guy?
Yeah, I thought it was one of the tackles. You see him unload at the end with that right arm, shoulder, forearm, hand, and wrist?
It's Wilhite and Winder behind Elway. First down Broncos. Here comes a reverse. Vance Johnson around the corner. Gain of about 6. Tim Morrison knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing about these receivers of the Broncos, other than Steve Watson, they all have great speed. Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson, Clint Sant. The other thing, they all end in son. To be a receiver, there it is right there. You have to be a receiver, your name has to end in son. Watson, Jackson, Johnson, Sampson. Then if you want to be thrown to as a tight end, your first name has to end in son.
And that would be Orson.
Yeah, we throw to him, 265 pounds, got 3 balls.
Draw play. Winder. Couple short of a first. Curtis Jordan tripped him up with help from Rich Malott.
Sammy Winder lost that left shoe.
Last week I thought the shoe was a pigeon or a pigeon was a shoe.
Wasn't that something? That pigeon was flying out there. That ball hit the pigeon.
Left him delirious, as you said.
Yeah, he staggered around there and stayed right there. We had a delirious pigeon on the field at RFK. Talking about pigeons.
3rd and 1. Dan Reeves wants something to be changed, and he finally gets the attention on the sideline, and the Broncos do call a timeout. Reeves was waving his arms and trying to get the attention, and now he's looking in disgust.
He didn't have a man on the end of the line of scrimmage here on this side. He had an illegal formation.
At least he knew it.
Extraordinary, yet his mission to ignite the Niners to the playoffs is unfinished. Joe Montana leads the 49ers against the Patriots tomorrow on CBS Sports.
We can see why Dan Reeves wanted to take time out. Here's a short yardage offense. That's 11 guys. Then he got +1 Watson out here. Watson's the guy that sees it. Watch him. He knows short yardage. He doesn't belong in there. Watch the right end. Watching the far end of the screen. He's saying timeout. You got 11. You don't want me in here. Now they got 11. Watson's on the sideline.
They discussed it during the timeout. Elway straight ahead to Gerald Wilhite, who stumbled ahead before he stopped by Barry Wilburn, and the Broncos get their first down.
I tell you, that's the thing they couldn't do in the first half. They couldn't get any running game. Short yardage offense. Now watch it. He's going to pop it right up the middle. It's a trap play. They come across and trap. The right guard, Mark Cooper, made. Wilhite broke right off it.
First down from the Washington 42, and Elway back to throw. Wilhite. Flag is down. A gain of 9. They might have hit Elway late.
It's Manley. Manley was frustrated. He got double teamed. Watch him here. First the tackle blocks from Remsburg. He's holding him. Then the guard comes frustrated. He's off that, and he's going to give a kick. He tried to get the left foot to the head.
Number 72, kicking an first down.
Kicking an offensive player.
Manley has to be frustrated because he missed him. He took a kick and he missed. But see, now they're taking Manley out because he is frustrated.
Marcus Cook replaces him.
He was frustrated by being held, and he was frustrated by being double teamed.
And now he's just plain mad.
So he took that size 14 and tried to put it to the head.
Mobley goes in motion. Elway looks, and now he takes off and slides inside the 15. A 5-yard scramble by Elway.
Well, that one wasn't an organized one. The touchdown was an organized draw. That one was a scramble. Now the Redskins, Manley he's still arguing with the official. Here's the last play. We see he's looking, trying to throw right, can't find anyone, and just scrambles up the middle and takes that slide.
Here comes a message.
Illegal contact while the quarterback was still in the pocket prior to the scramble. First down.
Illegal contact prior to the scramble, he said.
Yeah, what he meant was that the illegal contact was now while Elway's trying to throw. There was illegal contact, so now he couldn't throw it. It looked like it was on Hackett, the tight end.
First and goal from the 9. Elway back to throw it again. Outside it goes to Winder. Calvin Daniels right there with him, number 56. Pickup of 3, and Winder a little slow and limping up.
You know, one thing about this, we talked about the running game and how important it is that a guy like John Elway, with his receivers, he needs that running game just to keep things going, to kind of glue everything together. When you don't have it, you don't score any points. Then when you get it, you start moving the ball the way the Broncos are now.
Watson and Johnson split wide to the left. They go with 2 tight ends. Elway gives to Winder, and Winder ties it at 13. Extra point gives the Broncos the lead. .34 left in the third quarter, and Denver leads 14-13. The house is wild as Carlos kicks off. Short. Garner fields it at the 6. Is knocked down at about the 21. Harden on the stop.
Let's watch a block that Mark Cooper makes right here on Dave Butts. He gets him going this way, then Winder gets a big hole. This is the guy that made the play right there, Mark Cooper. Watch him on Butts, straight ahead, gets him going, keeps him going. Look at that hole in there for Winder to cut back in. Santa Claus could have took it in that hole. Like a bowl full of jelly.
Ricky Sanders split wide to the left and Monk to the right. Warren moves. Terry Orr in the backfield with Rogers. Nothing doing, and there might have been a fumble. Mecklenburg was the first man there.
I'll tell you, if anyone doesn't think that a crowd can pump up a football team, they're crazy. Look at this. You can just feel the intensity level of this Bronco defense. Watch them. They're scrambling, guys jumping, diving, wiving, the whole thing.
Mecklenburg and Hundley. It was Mecklenburg who jumped over the blocker.
I know it.
Kelvin Bryant replaces Rogers. Orr goes in motion. Schrader back to throw with time. Incomplete. He was juggling. Ricky Sanders had it, but without possession.
Watch it here. That's an optional cut. He starts to the inside. Louis Wright has him to the inside, so he slides to the outside. Had it, and as he was going out, he bobbled it. That was a good call. They didn't have it.
Oh, he didn't. 3rd down and 12. Redskins at their own 20. Schrader is 0 for 3 this half, and he'll have to try it again. Rulon Jones out of the blocks in a hurry. Jacoby might have moved.
That's what he's going to say. In fact, that's what did happen. Watch Jacoby. He's down there. He's not in a three-point stance. See that little move there? When he moved that left hand, then that was movement. And that said, okay, you can go. Rulon Jones comes across. The penalty's on the Redskins.
And that'll make it 3rd and 17. They're out in a hurry. Sanders wide left, Monk to the right. 3rd down and 17 from the 15.
I wouldn't be surprised if they run it here.
Schrader back. Picked off by Mike Harden. Pass intended for Orr. Broncos get it in good shape. That's the first turnover today, and that's a big one.
You know, that's why I said I wouldn't have been surprised if they run it. I'm not second guess. I think they had it because they were losing control here. This Denver Bronco team is pumped up. You don't want to force anything. Here, I think Jay Schrader had long yardage. He had to force something. He forces it. There's Mike Harden. He comes up with the interception. I think they would have been better running the ball, getting things back under control.
Elway asked for quiet as the Broncos come out at the Redskin 36. Elway going right to work. Running, throwing in the direction. Charles Mann in the direction of Vance Johnson. Mann and Manley chasing Elway.
I think Elway just threw that ball away. I'll tell you, he's a tough guy, though. You know, you look at both these quarterbacks, they're an awful lot alike. I mean, they're kind of big, tall, strong-armed, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guys, but they're tough guys. I mean, they can stand in there and take those hits and then jump up and go and do it again.
Youth may have something to do with that, too.
That's right. And not a lot of use or abuse on the body.
Orson Mobley split down at the bottom of your picture. Elway looking right. Has Watson, and Watson gets away from one tackler. Curtis Jordan finally brought him down. Morrison hurt his hand or his arm. It was Morrison that Watson got away from.
Well, he should hurt his hand or his arm the way he tackles there. You can't just reach out and grab like that. Of course, he did fall down. He did slip before that. And Watson gave him a little move. But that's one thing. A defensive back has to be able to cover. And the next thing he has to be able to do is tackle in the open field.
Morrison went out. Alvin Walton, one of the Redskin defensive backs, as they smother that play right at the line of scrimmage after a gain of 1. Olkowitz was the first Redskin there. There's Morrison over on the sideline.
I think he got that when he reached out. I think he dislocated a finger on his right hand. That's what they're doing. They're trying to pop it back in. And they just take it and they just pull it. It pops right back in there most of the time.
But it hurts.
You don't look, though.
2nd and 10. Elway drops. Watson. A touchdown, but a penalty marker down at the goal line. Watson came up with a catch.
Barry Wilburn was on him man-to-man, and it's either going to be against Watson or against Wilburn. That's obvious.
Pass interference, number 45 defense. Penalty to come.
Against Wilburn, and it's a touchdown.
Well, you're going to see 45 as Wilburn. Now watch it with the balls in the air. Looked like he hit him with the right hand before the ball got there.
Carlos for the extra point now. 19-yard touchdown from Elway to Watson. Carlos to make it 21-13. And he does. 7:38 now left in the third quarter. Things happening very quickly, and Denver up now by 8 points. (21-13) the Denver scoring drive after the interception. 36 yards, 56 seconds is all it took. Elway to Watson, made it 21-13. Carlos signals that he is ready to kick it off. Garner downs it 4 yards deep in the end zone.
Let's watch the pass protection, Pat, on the touchdown here. We can start it off here. We can see how they turn out on both sides. We can stop it right here. Now see the line. They got this thing turned out on the backside. That gives him the lane to throw the ball in. But you see how they turn everything? And then, of course, look at the other end. The great catch by Steve Watson.
Elway likes it. Redskins start from their own 20. 7.5 minutes left, third quarter. Schrader back to throw. Underneath to Monk. Monk gets his first down. Gets out of bounds by Dennis Smith. Tomorrow on CBS, the 49ers against the Patriots. Two other teams with the playoffs in mind. And New England's chances look better after the Jet lost today.
Well, and the 49ers, you know, if they can get healthy, they're still one of the best teams in the NFL. All you have to do is ask their opponents.
They don't want to play them. First down, Redskins at their own 37. Rodgers bounces out of the pile, gets up to about the 40, stopped by Jim Ryan. Rodgers got 3.
You see number 57, Tom Jackson? He was in there too on that play. You know, Tom Jackson's been playing in this league for a heck of a long time. In fact, this could be his last game, his last year. 35 years old, 14-year veteran. He used to hate me. He used to come over to the sideline and yell at me. Then I would yell at him from the sideline. Yesterday, he talked to me. I think the reason he talked to me, he had the flu. I think he tried to give it to me. They have the Taiwan flu going around here, this team.
Just before that, you said he was a nice guy.
Well, I thought, you know, he's a nice guy. You know, you get out, you're not coaching anymore, you're not competing, everyone forgets, you shake hands. Then I thought, you know, last time I was here, he didn't talk to me. This time he come over and talked to me. And you know what he said? He said, there's a lot of flu going around here. All the players have it. Don't talk to any of them. Don't let any of them breathe on you.
And then we found out he has it.
Well, he hasn't. I was talking to him. He was breathing on me. I got a lot of room for flu and stuff. It can all fit in there and not even bother anything. But I'll tell you, I like that guy. I mean, he's a competitor. He's a fiery guy. I mean, that's what it should be. I mean, you go out and you compete. You don't like anyone, and, you know, you just go after it.
Redskins did not get the play off. It took too much time. 30-second clock expired, and the flag came flying. That'll make it third and long.
Game prior to the snap offense, still third down.
I'll tell you, you know, we talked just before halftime. Remember where the Broncos got their first touchdown? A week ago, that happened when the Giants got a touchdown just before halftime. Against the Giants, it took a lot of wind out of their sails, and I think it did the same thing here today.
No doubt. 3rd and 7. They're back at the 40 now. Schrader up under the center. Art Monk in motion. Broncos put a blitz on. Monk dives and can't come down with it. Dennis Smith was the nearest defender. Schrader was under pressure.
I'll tell you, though, Schrader did make a heck of a throw. I mean, he was back there. He had a little pressure on him, and he threaded that needle between two defenders into Art Monk. The pressure coming from his backside from both Rulon Jones and Carl Mecklenburg. But he got rid of it. Now watch the throw. I mean, he threads that thing right in there. Look, there's a defender on the outside, inside, and he throws it right through. Monk should have had that ball.
Wilhite back deep for Denver. Cox's kick is a rocket. Takes a Redskin bounce, bounces backwards, and they down it at about the 9. Monty Coleman is down to down it. 51-yard punt by Cox takes the good bounce. 5:40 left, third quarter. Here at Mile High Stadium, it's Denver 21, Washington 13. The Giants entertain St. Louis tomorrow. The NFL today begins at 12:30 Eastern time. The Eagles will be at Dallas. Dallas still with faint hopes. The Giants looking for that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Gene Lamb and Winder are the running backs. Winder, nothing doing. Loss of 1. The Minnesota Vikings still with playoff hopes too. Play Houston 3:30 Eastern time. It begins with the NFL today.
You know, of all those teams that are in it for that last wild card spot in the NFC, looks like Minnesota could have the best shot to be there. Jerry Burns in his first year as a head coach up there has done a heck of a job. He really has.
They have become a good solid team. Winder and Lang behind Elway. John retreats to the end zone. Gets it out to Winder. From behind by Neil Olkowitz with a gain of 9. Kelvin Bryant over on the Redskin bench. They took him into the locker room at the half, I assume for x-rays, and then he came back out.
I think he has to be hurt, and I don't think you'd be that down with this score in this situation of the game. I think there's some injury he has. Something's bothering him, and it's not the score in the situation.
3rd and 2 at the 16 as Elway brings him out. Wilhite now is the lone setback. Redskins showing an all-out rush. Elway tried to get it outside to Vance Johnson. Darrell Green out there on the coverage. And Monty Coleman out there to help. And he put the pressure on Elway.
I think that was a big series for the Redskin defense because they're going to get good ball position here, good field position. I think that was a big play by Darrell Green.
Horan will be back to kick. Eric Yarber back deep for the Redskins. 4:07 left to play in the third quarter. Broncos using as much of the clock as they can. Trying to get all those Redskins picked up. They snap it with 1 second left to go. Not a good kick. Yarber. Upended by Tony Lilly, but a good return by Yarber. 39-yard punt and a 28-yard return.
I'll tell you, that's a great return. When a guy can come up and end it up something like that, that guy's going to make all Madden for this one. Watch that. There's no fair catches in this deal. This guy's only 5'8", just activated for this game. Watch him. I mean, he's a reckless runner. What? Jump, dive, twirl, spin.
Whatever.
Oh, and hold on to it throughout that. Yeah, that's a look. Look, he's happy. I mean, that helmet hardly fits the head.
Just activated. The Redskins, as you said, do indeed have it in good shape. Inside the Bronco 30. George Rogers behind Terry Orr in the backfield. Rogers. Picked up a couple. Andre Townsend made the stop.
See, I think that was a big series. When you go back to look at this game, that was a big series when the Redskins could hold them without a first down. Keep them down there.
Quieted the crowd down noticeably.
Yeah, then they get good field position. They get a good punt return. Now they can get back into this game.
Kelvin Bryant back in the game. Monk is wide right. Sanders wide left. 2nd and 8. Two tight ends lined up side by side. They come in that direction to Bryant. Bryant spins down to about the 21. Cregan on the stop. Gain of 3. For those of you who might not know, Pittsburgh beat the Jets earlier today 45-24. Abercrombie had 3 touchdowns. Another long day for O'Brien. Sacked 5 times, intercepted 3 times. The Jets just can't get on track. They started off 10-1 and now they can't do anything right. 3rd and 5. Big down here. Schrader checking the defense. Starts Monk in motion. He'll be looking at him. Flag down. Monk had it, lost it. Tony Lilly on the coverage, but it's going to be a holding penalty against the Redskins.
That had to be one that was late, that happened right in front of the quarterback because Jerry Seaman, the referee, called it. And that's usually a late holding. Because if it's an early one, the umpire calls it. If it's on the side, then the side guy does.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 73 offense. Penalty be declined. 4th down.
Mark May, and I was about to ask you if you would decline this.
Yeah, see right there, Mark May gets it right there. See now, the referee is right behind Schrader. See the flag come out? He saw that right at the end.
Schrader stays to hold for Zendejas, who will try from 41 yards out.
Yeah, I would think that I would make Zendejas kick it. Yeah, I think this is a very, very shaky kicker.
From 41 yards out, Schrader to hold. Good snap. No good kick. Broncos will take over. 2:19 left, 3rd quarter.
That's worse than a very shaky kicker. That could be close to being gone kicker. I think it happened in San Francisco. He just, got all shook up about that grass, and then he's playing here on grass, and I don't know that he can even get the ball up over the line anymore. Watch it. This is a line drive hooked. I mean, that didn't even have a chance. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Redskins had another shot here. I wouldn't be surprised if they let Steve Cox kick it.
Elway, draw play. And the Redskins smother Gerald Wilhite just as soon as he gets the ball. A loss of 3. It's Manley and Olkowitz who read the draw play.
One thing with Jay Schrader, even though he doesn't have Gary Clark in there in his arm, you don't want to put this thing into Cruz too soon. I'm talking about the Broncos. I mean, I don't think you want to get too conservative too soon.
That's always a mistake too often made. Elway drops back to throw it. Incomplete. Intended for Wilhite. Covered by Malott. Going back to the game summary, the The Broncos have scored 21 straight points. Jones and Clark are out again for the Redskins, and Tejas has had a long afternoon.
Well, you know, that's 8 points. One was a long field goal and 6 points in the field goal and the extra points.
So it's third down. Elway again. It's a planned draw play, and this time he is hammered by Monty Coleman, looking for someplace to go, and Denver will have to punt.
Well, and the Redskins again are going to get good offensive position. This Redskin defense is doing the job now to keep that position. Now the offense has to take advantage of it once they get out there.
Yarber goes back deep. Michael Horan has punted 5 times today, average 44. That's good enough. But the last one, Yarber almost broke, put the Redskins down in field goal range. Good kick. At his 35. Into a pack of Broncos. Back to the 45. A return of 10. Washington takes over its own 45. 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That's the real thing.
I wonder, is there anyone up there that there's no people? We put some stuff up there. We never put any people up there.
There's some stuff up there.
Yeah, but there's no guys up there like watching the game or anything.
No, there's supposed to be one guy up there.
There is a guy up there?
The man, you know. The man in the moon. Sanders. The Bronco 35.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I never want to go up there. You know, a lot of people say someday I want to go. You can put in your thing. I'm not going. I'm not one of them. They can have it, not me. I have trouble on trains now. I was
going to say there's no trains going up there.
I know it. I went through Sing Sing the other night in a prison break. Whew.
They wouldn't let you out of there even. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Denver 21, Washington 13. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
One more quarter to go. Pat Summerall, John Madden. We're at Mile High Stadium, where the Broncos lead the Redskins 21-13. Redskins give to Rodgers. Rodgers cuts back right side down to about the 31. Ricky Hundley tripped him up after a gain of 4. Their favorite play.
You know, the Redskins have plenty of time, but they're down 8 points, meaning that they need 2 scores. And this is where I'm sure they wish they had Gary Clark.
Second down and 7. They're at the Bronco 31.
They're probably going to run again. Kelvin Bryant usually comes in the passing, and Rodgers in for the run.
Rodgers is the deep back. Rulon Jones. After Schrader. Pass is ruled incomplete. Sanders saying I had it. Louis Wright, the defender. Steve Cox getting ready, putting on the square toe, and indeed, if they have to kick again, it would seem it's going to be Cox.
You know, he was trying to bring Ricky Sanders back, and he did. He brought him back too much, and he one-hopped it in there.
He had the pressure from Rulon Jones. He had to let go. Now Bryant's in.
Broncos have had good pressure, but they have yet to sack Schrader today.
Bryant the intended receiver, incomplete. They put the pressure on again. Here comes Cox.
You know, we would know one thing, that Cox can get at that distance.
He's had a 55-yarder earlier in the year. Made a 57-yarder as well. He's got the leg.
And then with this altitude, you know that he can get it there.
This will be 48. He's got it. 21-16. 14:07 left in the contest, and Denver lead is now 5.
Howdy.
That ought to be a good match. Both teams needing a victory. Both teams trying to keep playoff hopes alive, as these two both desire a victory. Denver 21 and Washington 16. 14:07 left to play. Steve Cox, who just hit the 48-yard field goal, will kick off. A knuckler, going to be tough to handle. Makes its way into the end zone, and they keep it there. Does Gene Lang.
Well, you don't see that much, Pat. Dean Hamill is on the kickoff and punt coverage of these Redskins. He's already made a couple tackles today, but there's a big 275-pound guy running down on kicks.
And he's usually one of the first ones down there.
I know, and he got some stuff there. Watch him now. The thing's out of the mouth. He just looks for a guy to run over. They just bump into him and say, well, what are you doing on this team?
Why do we want to...
Little fast guys.
Why do we want to continue this? Elway to Winder. Winder outside the 25 to the 26 and a gain of 6. Olkowitz tripped him up.
I'll tell you, the left guard, Keith Bishop, got a good block. I think you'll see Dave Butts is going to come through. Watch Butts here. He's coming through. See him, 65? Now watch Bishop there. Just knock him down when he was getting ready to make the play, and then that's what opened the hole. You know that Keith Bishop's a pretty good-looking guy for an offensive lineman.
He sure is.
Usually they're not good-looking.
Well, they don't work at it much. Elway. To Mark Jackson. On the money. Darrell Green stopped him, but a Bronco first down, a gain of 17.
There we have Jackson out here. Now, again, he has great speed and great quickness. You know, he's one of those guys that can run full speed and still make a move off of it. He's going to be something. He's only a rookie, but he has all those abilities that you have to have. Someday I think he'll be the starter. Then someday I think he'll be a star in this league.
He's got those same attributes that a Duper and a Clayton have. Raw play to Winder. Olkowitz, the first Redskin to hit him. A gain of 2.
I'll tell you, when you run in there in that middle of that Redskin line and you have Dave Butts there and Darrell Grant on the other side and Olkowitz in the middle, you're running into a real strength. So you have to do things. You have to, like, trap them. You have to influence them. You have to do things because you just can't overpower them.
2nd and 8. Wilburn comes out with Watson to Elway's right. He never got the ball snapped. Everybody left and the ball was still there.
Yeah, that's the center. I mean, he's the guy that knows. You know, no, he can never be offsides.
False start prior to the snap, number 7 offense.
Sometimes the quarterback gets up there, Pat, and he forgets the starting count. You know, and he'll start out there, and that's what happened. Elway started out. Butts was on the center's nose, Billy Bryan. So, of course, when Elway moves, then Butts can go. And Bryan probably said, oh, no. And when your quarterback moves and you're the center, all you can do is just kind of hunker in there and take it.
And that's exactly what he did. 2nd and 13. Elway looking almost caught by Mobley. He got one hand on it. Monty Coleman was covering him.
I'll tell you, here we go. Here we see a double team. See, Brian this time has to pass protect Butts. Cooper started out on him, then Brian goes. The play is over. Butts gives one more. Boom, Brian gives one more. Butts gives one more. There's about 3 loads after the play.
3rd and 13. Pressure on Elway. Man chases. He gets it to Mark Jackson. Does Elway, and that's going to be a little bit shy of a first down.
I don't know that it is. It depends on how they mark this. I think it is a first. Jackson did a heck of a job. He was right in front of that marker, and he just stood there.
So did Elway do a heck of a job.
Well, yeah, he throws it, but watch him just stand there. See, he didn't work back, so he had the first down. He's working on Wilburn here. Now watch him. He gets back there. Now he goes back to the sideline, just stands right there. He can't work back anymore. He'd lose the first down.
That's an excellent play by both. Winder is the lone setback, and that's Mobley in motion. Elway back to throw. Watson, and he has it, and out of bounds inside the Redskin 20. Week after week.
He was set up with great pass protection. The Bronco line in this second half has really come on. They had a blitz. They gave Elway time. Look what he could do. Here's Watson working against Barry Wilburn. See, he started in there, and then he let him get deep. Now, I would think there should have been a safety over there. Wilburn looked like he was playing short, expecting deep help.
Watson goes left, along with Mark Jackson this time. Draw play, Winder. And Sammy Winder scrambles out of the pack and gets down to about the 13. 4 tough yards. Rich Malott brought him down finally.
Let's see that play again, the big play. Here's Steve Watson. Here's Wilburn. Wilburn hits him here and lets him get by. It looks like he expected something over here that he didn't get. But watch it down here in the bottom. See, he gets the bump. Now Watson gets beyond him. Looked like that safety was going to come over. He took a bad angle and didn't get over. The same thing happened to him last week against the Giants.
Elway looking right. Mark Jackson at about the 1. Green was the closest Redskin. A gain of 12.
I said Mark Jackson was going to be a star in the league someday. That day may be now.
Today.
Wait. H-O-Y means today.
Clock running, 9.5 minutes left to play. Jackson has 4 catches for 51 yards. Hackett and Mobley, the 2 tight ends, lined up to the right. Rimsberg and Studdard to the left. Studdard on the outside. A lot of popping going on in there. Gerald Wilhite attempting to get in, and he didn't. Monty Coleman made the first hit for the Redskins.
I'll tell you, the Redskins have had 2 tough weeks. They're a team, they already know they're in the playoffs. They have to be wondering what they're going to do.
They need to get some people well, is one of the things they need to do. Broncos are in and playing for the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It is Sammy Winder into the end zone, Broncos. Second touchdown for number 23. And the crowd is back on their feet. Carlos for the extra point with Kubiak holding. Carlos into the net.
Watch Joey Hackett, number 85, lead. He's going to lead and trap right there. Winder is running off the trap. He has a hole into the end zone.
And so with 8.5 minutes left to play, the Broncos now lead 28-16 over the Redskins. .8:32 left to play. Rich Carlos set to put the bare foot on the kickoff. White Garner in the middle. For the Redskins, Keith Griffin to his left and Todd Bowles to his right. Hit the ground behind it. Garner will operate. Hit from behind by Hundley. And Rick Dennison brought him down.
Now there's a guy hustling out there to get the tee. I like that.
Turn it on now.
Well, look at that face. I mean, that's determination. Bring it back. Give me 5.
Nice going.
I'll tell you, he's proud of himself.
I got it.
What a job. Now he wants to get some hits.
Going back for some oxygen. Washington ball. Kelvin Bryant in the game. Washington their own 23. Schrader will have to throw it almost every down from here on, and does. To Didier. And Clint gets to the 45. A gain of 22. Randy Robbins on the stop. Tomorrow on CBS, the NFL Today. That's one of the games we'll be seeing.